The horse, in the Chinese zodiac, is often admired for its free-spirited energy, passion and charm. With an adventurous soul and a love for freedom, horses are hard to pin down. But while the surface might glitter with enthusiasm and confidence, there's a shadowy side to this galloping sign that's rarely discussed. Prepare to uncover some weird, strange, and unexpectedly negative traits of the horse, deeply entwined in Chinese astrology, myths, and symbolism. Beneath the horse's joyous canter lies a complex creature, driven by unexpected urges, stubborn instincts, and sometimes shocking behavior. Restlessness to the extreme. If there's one thing a horse values, it's their freedom. While this sounds romantic and adventurous, the horse's need for independence often borders on the extreme. They get bored easily, constantly craving new environments, relationships, and challenges. This relentless quest for novelty can make horses seem fickle and unreliable, always on the move and never fully committed. Whether it's changing careers or abandoning relationships on a whim, horses are notorious for riding off into the sunset at the first sign of routine. In Chinese symbolism, the horse represents mobility and rapid movement. In ancient times, horses were revered for their speed and ability to traverse vast landscapes, symbolizing progress and change. However, this constant drive for motion can lead to the horse being perceived as flighty or irresponsible, never sticking around long enough to face the consequences of their actions. Their restlessness is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it fuels their adventurous spirit, but on the other, it prevents them from settling down and finding lasting contentment. Impulsive to a fault. While spontaneity is often celebrated in the horse, it can also lead them down a dangerous path of impulsivity. Horses are known to leap before they look, acting on instinct rather than careful planning. This impulsiveness can get them into trouble, whether it's making hasty decisions in their personal lives or jumping into risky financial ventures. Horses tend to act first and think later, which can lead to regrets once the dust settles. In Chinese astrology, the horse is associated with the element of fire, which symbolizes energy, passion, and impulsiveness. Fire burns bright and fast, just like the horse's decision-making process. However, just as fire can quickly get out of control, so too can the horse's rash behavior. Their tendency to act on a whim often causes chaos in their lives, leaving them to clean up the mess later. Ego-driven. Though horses are charismatic and energetic, they often crave the spotlight a little too much. Horses love being the center of attention and will go to great lengths to ensure all eyes are on them. This need for admiration can make them seem egotistical and self-absorbed, especially when they overshadow others or refuse to share the limelight. They may not do it maliciously, but the horse's larger-than-life personality can easily eclipse those around them, leaving their friends and loved ones feeling neglected. In Chinese symbolism, the horse has long been associated with royalty and prestige. Historically, horses were used in parades, battles, and important ceremonies, often depicted as majestic creatures meant to be admired. This deep-rooted connection to admiration feeds the horse's natural inclination to seek attention. While they may genuinely enjoy uplifting others, they also expect to receive the same admiration in return, which can come across as narcissistic. Reckless in love. When it comes to love, the horse is known for its passionate nature, but that same passion can also lead to recklessness. Horses love the thrill of romance and excitement, but they often struggle with commitment. They fear being tied down and losing their freedom, which can lead to a pattern of short-lived, intense relationships. Horses may dive headfirst into love, only to pull away when things get too serious. This unpredictability in relationships can leave their partners feeling confused and hurt. In Chinese astrology, the horse's connection to the element of fire adds fuel to their romantic intensity. Fire burns bright and hot, just like the horse's love affairs, but it also fizzles out quickly. This tendency toward fleeting passion is part of what makes the horse so charming, but it's also what makes them difficult to build a stable relationship with. Their fear of commitment stems from a deep-rooted desire for independence, often leaving their partners chasing after them. Inconsistency and unpredictability. Horses are creatures of excitement, and they thrive in dynamic, fast-paced environments. However, their disdain for routine often makes them inconsistent and unreliable. One day, they may be fully invested in a project, and the next, they've lost interest and moved on to something else. Horses struggle with staying focused on long-term goals, and their unpredictable nature can make it difficult for others to depend on them. This inconsistency is tied to the horse's symbolic connection with the wind in Chinese mythology. Just as the wind can change direction without warning, so too can the horse's interests and ambitions. They are driven by the desire to explore new horizons, but this often comes at the cost of stability. Their refusal to settle into a routine can make them seem flaky, leaving others wondering when or if they'll follow through on their commitments. Stubborn and strong-willed. One of the most shocking traits of the horse is their deep-rooted stubbornness. Despite their love for freedom, horses have an unyielding will and will dig in their heels when they feel strongly about something. They can be incredibly difficult to persuade, especially when their independence is threatened. Once a horse has made up their mind, it's nearly impossible to change it, which can lead to conflicts in both their personal and professional lives. In Chinese mythology, the horse is a symbol of determination and resilience, representing the ability to carry heavy burdens and travel great distances. This tenacity is both a blessing and a curse. While it allows the horse to overcome obstacles, it also makes them resistant to change or compromise. Their stubborn nature can cause them to push away those who try to offer advice or guidance, leaving them isolated in their own self-righteousness. Advice for the horse. For horses, finding balance is key. While your love for adventure and independence is one of your greatest strengths, it's important to recognize when your restlessness becomes a detriment. Learning to commit, whether in relationships or careers, will bring you the stability you often avoid but secretly need. Embrace the power of routine not as a cage, but as a tool to help you achieve your long-term goals. Horses must also work on taming their impulsiveness. While it's great to live in the moment, not every decision should be made on a whim. Taking a step back and thinking through your actions will save you from a lot of unnecessary chaos and regret. Remember, just because you can run doesn't mean you always have to gallop full speed ahead. Finally, horses should learn to share the spotlight with others. Your natural charm and magnetism make you a star, but true leadership comes from lifting others up alongside you. By focusing less on seeking admiration and more on collaboration, you'll find deeper fulfillment in your personal and professional relationships. In conclusion, while the horse is often celebrated for its energy, passion, and charm, it also possesses some strange and shocking traits that are often hidden beneath the surface. From their impulsiveness to their fear of commitment, the horse's personality is full of unexpected twists that make them both fascinating and challenging. By addressing these negative tendencies, horses can harness their boundless energy and gallop toward a more balanced and fulfilling life.